For the latest on this, we are now joined by V. Muralidharan, MOS External Affairs. He comes from Kerala. Thank you so much for speaking with NDTV this morning, sir. We understand now that the rescue operations on the ground are over. Now the focus shifts to taking care of the injured in the hospital. What more can you share us about their health, sir, at the moment?
There are around 120 people in the hospitals, around 13 hospitals in and around the airport and Calicut city. Some of them had minor injuries, so after first aid, they have been allowed to go home. Now, I reached Calicut today early morning. The Minister of Civil Aviation also is reaching by 12 o'clock. We will be making a visit to the crash site, and after that, I'll personally go to the hospital to meet the injured and the relatives and loved ones of the deceased.
Right, sir. We understand these are challenging COVID times in which a tragedy like this has followed upon Kerala, sir. In fact, not just this, as landslides as well. What exactly are you doing on the ground to ensure? We understand that a rescue flight has also gone to carry out humanitarian work. What more can you share on what's happening on the ground, sir?
In fact, DGCA has sent a team. In fact, that team traveled with me in the same flight that I came from Delhi.
Okay.
And now I'm told that they have already started the forensic examinations. Now I think about the causes and other details, once the DGCA's inquiry is over, then we'll be able to tell more about that.
So, I want to understand from you, lots of questions being raised on the condition of that tabletop landing strip. Several people saying now more and more experts coming on board to say it was not fit to land on, while there have been contrary reports as well. What is your initial understanding of the situation, sir?
No, I was briefed by the airport authorities that since there was a heavy rain and the first attempt to land couldn't be successful, and in the second attempt when it landed, the aircraft taxied ran in the runway and then skid towards the left. Then on the left side, it crashed with the compound wall and broke into pieces and fell down.
Right. But sir, no information you have on the condition of the airstrip which has come under question now?
Yesterday itself, the Minister of Civil Aviation has already clarified that the earlier reports about the conditionality of the aircraft of the runway has nothing to do with the incident of yesterday. Tabletop airports, we have a couple of such airports in the whole country. But those airports, whether they are fit to continue or not, that's a larger question. But having said that, I would like to remind you that during the last from May 7th onwards, the Vande Bharat mission, which is being undertaken for the last 2 months, in those 2 to 3 months, more than 100, I think, flights have landed in Calicut. So that the tabletop runway cannot be ruled out completely. But at the same time, in such climatic conditions, how a tabletop airport can prove to be hazardous is another question. And at the same time, I understand that the pilot who was manning the aircraft yesterday is a very experienced person who had served in the Indian Air Force. He has many accomplishments to his credit. So I don't think that sometimes accidents do happen and human errors do happen, but all those things will have to be
looked into. Sir, you're making a very important point. You're saying just during the Vande Bharat mission, some 100 flights have already landed at the same runway?
Definitely. Because May 7th, when we started the Vande Bharat mission, the first aircraft to India was landing in Cochin. But the very next day, there was a flight to Calicut. So from May onwards, today is the third month. We are completing 3 months, June, July, August. So in 3 months, definitely around 100 aircraft aeroplanes have landed, and which includes the wide-bodied aircraft, which lands only in longer runways. So Calicut had had received wider aircraft which had a capacity of around 300.
All right, that's a very important clarification, sir. Thanks for telling us about that. Lastly, sir, this is an extremely tragic incident. Lots of families were coming back home to their loved ones on that flight. What would you like to say to those who are listening to you at this point?
We will see that no effort is spared to take care of the injured and those who have lost their lives. And everyone who has come by that flight, their families should rest assured that the government of India is at their for their relief and for their welfare.
All right, Mr. Muralidharan, Union Minister there, thank you so much for speaking with us.